recording also started. Okay, so let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome everyone and Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. I am Mursal Furqan, lead microsystems partner, Society Jamshoro chapter, and today we are having with us Mr. Adil, Miss Nancy, and Miss Akshita, and they'll be talking on technical writing. Well, they will be introduced by our co-lead, Miss Hiba. Hiba, are you there? Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
So Hiba, please
Assalamualaikum
start.
everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
This
Over
is
to you,
Hiba
Hiba.
from MSP Society Jamshoro. This is our first event with the collaboration of Voice of Code team. Adil Asif is Beta Micro MSP from Pakistan, while Nancy and Akshita both are from India. They are also Beta MSP. Adil Asif and Nancy are founder of Voice of Code, and Akshita is Voice of Code medium team lead. We will having first Adil Asif session, then Nancy's session, and then Akshita's. And at the end, we will have question answers from your side. I think Adil should start now.
Okay, just give me a minute. Let me
Over to you,
present
Adil.
slides. Okay, so I guess I'll just start with a bit of an introduction. Until then, the slides will be also visible. Okay, so as Heba Rajput introduced me, my name is Adil Asif and I'm one of the founders of Voice of Code. So first of all, I would like to thank Heba Rajput and Mursal Bhai for coming for approaching us for this session. I hope that you will enjoy this and you will learn a lot of new things. Okay, so I think the slides are visible. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, Adil, they are visible.
Okay, so yeah, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Adil Asif, and I'm a student. I'm enrolled in computer science. I'm enrolled in bachelor's of. I'm enrolled in FAST University and currently studying computer science. I'm a second year student, and hopefully after this month I'll move on to third year of my degree. Yeah. So a bit about me. Who am I, right? So talking about my experience in the CS world is pretty less right now because I'm just a starter, right? But for me, I have a lot experience in different sort of things like how to approach towards a certain topic, how to learn a topic, or I have experiences with handling different topics and writing on different topics like motivational speeches, things related to spirituality as well. So yeah, I have those sort of experiences as well. But for me, I have very less experience in CS as I told. But for me, CS is like everything. I'm just getting started with it, and hopefully I learn a lot as well. And I hope that I'll be able to help you guys as well. So yeah, that was a small introduction from my side and we will start. Okay, so what I want is the session to be a bit of interactive and I have my chat visible. So what I would want from you guys is to just type on the chat when I ask a certain question. Okay, so first of all I would like to know how many of you blog, if I could have a better understanding about it so I could move that way. Okay, I'll move forward. Okay, so yeah, you guys can chat. I'll just move on. So basically, according to Google, a blogging is a discussion or information website published on the World Wide Web consisting of discrete, often informal, diary-style text entries. That is what Google says or the web says. But what I personally believe, blogging is not just a person writing out some piece of information or some piece of knowledge that some other person will learn or will use it to like learn new stuff or can refer it when they are approaching towards new things. That is what Google says, right? So yeah, but what I believe, blogging is more than that. It's not just a person writing out an article. It's a person. It's like a person is expressing his or her knowledge, whatever he has learned, and portraying it in a form of writing, and sharing his experience of how he had learned and how his learnings or his knowledge can help other people to learn more stuffs. This is what I think from my point of view that blogging should actually mean. Now, why a different? Although the meaning is same, but the difference is in the choice of words. Why? The thing is, when some people write or some people learn new things, right? They usually it's not like a person learns thing like they just read out an article or they just read a book or a chapter and they learn new stuff. It's not like that. It takes time for a person to learn new things, right? And behind a certain blog there's a lot of research, there's a lot of hard work due to which he comes up with a single page article or a 15-minute article, right? So yeah, that is what the difference is. So displaying a feeling of emotion with a definition of blogging takes the term to another level, and increases the interest of people as well towards it. Now, when I was approached from Hiba, she wanted to talk about like what to blog, right? Technical blogs, like what are blogs that we can write in the CS field. So I'll also be talking about that. But first, I would be talking about like what to blog, right? So I see someone have typed in the chat that they blog. Yeah. So now what to blog? A person can literally blog anything or can write anything. If you have interest in a motivation speeches, or if you have interest in certain technologies, or if you have interest in a certain subjects that you like and you have command over, you can just write out an article and just randomly post it. Now how to write, that's the main problem. Now, what is the better way to write? What I'd say is write your article in certain simple words that will be helpful to others, not in technical terms. That would be those articles that you write, like uh, like when we study, right? Uh, so when you guys study, what do you do? For example, I would take that I'm studying a subject known as can my close the mic? Yeah. So I take a subject, for example, object-oriented programming. Like you guys are learning object-oriented programming, and I have a topic named as abstraction. Now, how would I learn that topic? First of all, what I do, I'll brainstorm the idea, I'll brainstorm the topic, and I'll search for what abstraction is. I'll just list down the key points about what abstraction is in simple words that are easy for us to understand, right? That is what you have to block. That is what you have to write. Those simple points can be helpful for some other people as well who don't know about a certain thing. So that's what you can write for newbies. My main focus in blogging for me right now, everyone has a different style of blogging, first of all. My main focus over blogging is to help people who are getting started with things, right? So I have some experience in that as well. I have also written an article on GitHub that was helpful. In fact, I it helped me as well some of the times when there's a gap in using it. So I had also been referring that article as well. So yeah, so this is how blogging can help others, and this is how you should blog. You should blog with you should blog and write in simple terminologies if you are writing for new people. If you are writing for some people who are already aware of the technology, then you can obviously use technical terms that will be more easy for the person to understand. For example, if I have knowledge of abstraction, I won't refer to the definition of abstraction if I'm talking about abstraction, right? I'll just refer that this terminology is known as abstraction. Yeah, that's what I would like to hear. So there are different phases. Now, you have to identify your knowledge, you have to identify your audience, for which type of audience are you writing. That is how to write, and this is what to write. I told you about it. Now, when to blog. Okay, this is a question that I'd give you a minute to think about, and we'll talk about this question in the next slide. I'll give you 30 seconds to think about it before we move on. Yeah, so let's move on. Knowledge. Now, how many of you guys know the difference, actual difference between information and knowledge? So basically, if okay, Mr. Bhai, Mike, uh, yeah. So the basic difference between knowledge and information is, I'll just give you an example. Okay, for example, I'm studying object oriented programming, and I'm studying inheritance. Now I know that inheritance is some from Google. If I read, I know that inheritance means that uh, inheriting something, a parent is inheriting some features from a child object. This is what Google would say to me. Now I know this. This is a small piece of information, but is it knowledge? No. Knowledge is when you process this information that a child is inheriting some features from the parent, and you use this information to implement certain things, right? When you implement that concept, that piece of information becomes knowledge. When I implement this whole scenario that a child object inherits from a parent object, I code it down, I see how things are working, I see how functions are being inherited. This is the point where we understand what that piece of information is trying to convey, and that is knowledge. And I'd say to you that you should seek for knowledge rather than information. A person can like read thousands of pages, or sorry, hundreds of pages, or different sort of books, but if the guy does not know the implementation, or if the guy cannot use this piece of information in some useful thing, then it's just a pure piece of not it's pure piece of useful and useless information that I cannot use, and that's totally useless. But if that information is converted into knowledge, then it's a lot better. What I say is that 100 pages of information 100 Okay, information is defined form of data that is useful to understand the meaning. Yeah, you can, right? I can read your definition, but that's again what I say. You can use that information, but until and unless you don't implement it, that's waste. That's a wastage, waste information. For me, what I believe is that 100 pages of information that cannot be implemented, or that you cannot understand, is not better than a 3-page piece of information that you have implemented and that is part of your knowledge base. This is what I say. Now, in learning, when we learn different stuffs, so as you all know, there are different ways how people learn stuffs, right? So there's self-learning and there's analysis. Now, and there's learning when that you directly teachers teach you, right? So now, what's the basic difference between these three forms of learnings? Okay, it's simple. When you learn something from your teacher, you just learn it and you could understand the concept, right? But you don't know the struggle behind the that concept of learning, that sorry, you don't know the struggle behind the that behind that the teacher has done to understand that concept and to convey it to you. Now, self learning helps you know the struggle, and when you struggle for something, when you struggle for information, or when you struggle for knowledge, this is the point where you know the importance of that information. Just a second. uh, this is the point where you know that the struggle behind that concept, or how much time had been invested behind that information. For example, I don't know how many of you guys scored, or which field are you from, right? So I just give an example from my field, computer science. Like for example, if there's an error in my field, right, in the field of computer science, right? So what basically there's an error in a code. For example, I'm writing a code and I find an error. Now what I will do is I'll look over Google and try to realize and try to find that error, right? The 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 hard work, or the time that I'll waste, or the time that I will invest uh, during during that learning of that concept, or that learning of that error, or finding a solution to that error, will be around will that time invested will be will help me understand the hard work done. And due to that amount of time wasted, I it the concept, the error that I had faced, the solution for that error, I will remember that for a long time, so that I'll know how, or I'll know how much effort does it take to find a solution to a certain problem. So I'll remember that problem, and that will help me to understand the concepts more better. Now once you have learned the concept, the stage comes for analysis. You analyze things. You see how things go around. Like for example, if you learn about abstraction, now you have learned about abstraction, you have implemented abstraction, you have implemented inheritance. Now you analyze it. Now you check, now you make your own assumptions behind it. Now you realize, and now you decide what to do, like what more can be done. That is the stage where where you gain experience, and where you have an amount of knowledge that you can create, you can learn some concepts on your own. You won't need the help of books, or you won't need help of Google. You can learn some different concepts on your own by analyzing different things, by playing around with stuff, by playing around with the knowledge that you already have. Now, this is a small four phases of knowledge that I told you. Now, let's come back to our question. Now, when to block? The answer is simple. When you have certain amount of knowledge about that thing, and you're pretty confident that you can explain these concepts to other people, that the time is right. You can blog, you can write, and you can just publish it anywhere you want, and you can put it out there so people can learn stuff. But until and unless you don't have certain amount of knowledge, the basic thing will be that you will be misguiding people. So that is not good. So you should learn, and you should research on some stuff. You should research on a thing before you put it out there. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. Now, okay. So how many of you guys like to watch video tutorials? Okay. Okay. So yeah. So video tutorials are the easy way to understand things, and research is the hard way to understand things. Okay, I see a lot of people watching video tutorials. I myself watch video tutorials. But the basic thing is that we need to understand when to watch video tutorials and when to watch blogs. Okay, as I said earlier on, that you should research, you should self-learn and analyze things, right? Now let's talk about a certain concept. Okay, just let me think about a certain thing that might be common. Okay, let's talk about history. So history, how okay, we have, there's an option for video tutorials for history, and there are books, there are articles for history material, right? Now I bet that majority people would go for a book to prepare for a history exam rather than a video tutorial. Now why is that? The reason is basically when you are learning some theoretical concepts, it is easier to understand and research over those concepts rather than listening to them. I'm talking about pure theoretical. I'm not talking about certain concepts that you have to visualize. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about pure theoretical concepts right now. For example, microeconomics concepts like marketing, like what a market is, like what monopoly is. These are certain concepts that you would want to learn from a book rather than watching a video tutorial. It might be easy, but people tend to move towards blogs. Yeah, I'll just answer your question in the end. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, so this is the difference between. Just give me a minute. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about theoretical concepts and uh, between difference between video tutorials and research. So what I'd say, for example, if you're learning a new concept, for example, if you are learning a concept in DLD, you are learning a concept about floating points. So you can see the implementation directly of that concept in the video tutorials, like how they are solving this this floating point problem. But what would be a better solution is that you research on floating point, what floating point actually is, what is behind, what is happening behind floating point, what is the concept of floating point. When you understand these things, it becomes better to understand a concept. That's why I say research is the hard way, but through research you can learn concepts that would be long lasting. Whereas video tutorials, you can learn how to solve problems, but it won't be helpful for learning concepts that are working at the back end. Now, from this, I'll move on to blogs. Now, there are three things to decide whether you want to create a blog or whether you want to make a video tutorial. I'm not against both of them. I'm in favor of both of them. You should go for both of them. Why you should go for both of them? Nancy will be discussing about that. Yeah. So there are three phases: theoretical, hands-on, and experience. These three things help you to learn a certain concept. Okay. Just give me. Yeah. Okay. Theoretical concept. The theoretical concept, as I explained about a floating point concept, a concept about what is happening with compilers, what an operating system is, these sort of concepts, right? What monopoly is, what happened in 1947 or 1888, these sort of concepts, what a geography is, these all are theoretical. And if you want to visualize anything, that's a hands-on part. What I'd recommend is go for, if you're going for theoretical concepts, go for a blog. It's better to understand, it's easy to understand, people learn it better. If you are going for a hands-on part, then go for a video tutorial because it's easy to analyze, and there are some issues when you are solving things with hands-on, so you can also show those in the video tutorials. You can go for the hands-on with the blogs as well. As you know, as you can see, like there are different documentations that are available for installing a software. These are also hands-on, so these are available, you can also go for it. But what's easy to understand is a video tutorial. I personally myself use video tutorials for seeing how to install things, although even there are documentations available as well. That is also a case scenario, but you can go for a video tutorial, that I would say. from my side. Now, what is experience? Experience, no one can teach you experience. Once you have a knowledge of certain things, now you have to go for a hands-on. You have to implement, and you learn something. You learn from it. You learn, and you experience those things. You use those things as you move on. These, yeah, so the more you use those concepts, the more you implement them, the more the experience you gain. You can share your experience in both manners, a video tutorial or a blog. You can go for both of them. It's totally fine, because in an experience thing you can just talk to your audience in a casual way, or you can just type it out what you have learned up till now with that concept. Okay. Yeah, so that's all from my side. Uh, I hope you and I was able to convey the message. These are my IDs. This is my LinkedIn ID. This is our Voice of Code LinkedIn ID, and there's our Medium ID. Okay, I'll just answer one question. It was an interesting one, so I'll just go for it. Okay, can blogs be any knowledge which we know? Do we say that entertaining posts are also included blogs? Entertaining stuffs, it depends. You can, like, blog is simply a piece of information. Blog is simply, as I mentioned, it's the way you display your learning or your knowledge on a piece of on the web. It's your piece of learning, or how you have learned certain things, right? So it can be any piece of knowledge. That's totally up to you. A blog can also be a motivational talk. It can also be that. So yeah, that's all from my side. Now I would request Nancy to come over. I hope I didn't take much of your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Adil. I request Akshita if she could share the slides for me, please.
Just
Hello,
let
am I
me,
audible?
yeah, just let me know when it's visible.
Okay.
Yeah. Done?
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So I'll start by first introducing you all. I'll give my introduction first. So my name is Nancy. I'm pursuing Bachelor of Technology in Information Technology from KIT Group of Institutions. I am a Beta Microsoft student partner from India, and I am one of the founders of Voice of Code. So today I'll be taking you all forward with the importance of writing. Like Adil has told you all about blogging and when to blog, what to blog, but you might be getting a question as in what is actually the importance of writing, right? Like if you have to blog, then you should know all these points. So I'll be taking that part for you. Friends, what you do with your content after you have created it is what truly counts. And this is the main essence of blogging. Good content is one of the reasons why search began in the first place. It is because of the good content writings that
Nancy, you're muted.
Nancy, you're on mute.
I am so sorry for that. I'll just start again. So the introduction part was also not audible, right?
It was audible, but just a bit of it. So you can go again.
After that, we couldn't hear you.
Okay, I think someone muted me, but it's fine. Okay. So, the topic for me for today is the importance of writing. So, I was telling you all that you should know the importance of writing, only then that will motivate you to write, to start writing the blogs. So, what you do with the content is what actually that truly counts, right? So, that is the main essence of blogging. The good content writing is one of the reasons why search actually began at the first place. There are so many people who like go online and learn from all the blogs in these tough times so that they don't have to depend on anyone else. They are self-learning from the blogs. So good content writing is like, I'll say that writing is man's greatest gift. And when you write blogs, you just not only share your information, but also help other people and get to know their viewpoints. This way of sharing ideas and thoughts will help diversity in thinking. All of us, I believe, owe a lot to technical writers. Like they do a lot to share their experience, their knowledge, and simplify the things for us. Like I have read many blogs whenever I used to get stuck for any concept or something. So I believe everyone does. So now why is writing actually so important? Well, the very first being that writing blogs give you a voice. Well, there are many people who don't find themselves much comfortable while speaking, but like there are some kind of people who find themselves a bit introvert. For them, blogs can be just the best platform to express themselves, to speak to the world. Like they have that quality in themselves that they can express themselves while they can write. So blogs just open a world without borders. It just helps you so much on a personal level that you actually, it refines your thought process. It let their personality shine in front of the world. The next I will say is the exposure or the global connect that you get. Well, as, as you all know, as I said, that blogs just open a world without borders. So yes, it also opens you up to all the global connections of shared interests and passions. Like you meet people who also share the same interests that you have. So while you are blogging or while you are sharing a post, it is like you're not only sharing your information, but at the same time, you are also inviting feedbacks from multiple directions. Like people are there all over the world reading your blogs. They have different point of views. It can be possible. So you just get feedbacks in so many different directions that it is easier for you to increase your knowledge as well. Now, let me explain you that how this global exposure is like beneficial. See, like if I write something, then that is like my point of view. According to me, that is like the best solution of a particular problem that I can give. But there can be someone who just has a more better solution for that thing. But how would I know that a better solution exists? Like I will only know when the people would be starting sharing their ideas and thoughts with me. They would be like, okay, Nancy, you have written it this way. I think this can also, you can also include these points. You can also improve it in this way. You can make your blog a little more attractive if you just include these points as well. So that's when your global connection works. Like you just get multiple point of views. Your context radius increases, I would say. Now, technical writing helps you share knowledge and your expertise. Then, technical blogging obviously gives you informational, educational, and helpful content. There are so many writers who amplify their knowledge with the help of the blogs, and they are able to get more optimal solutions. So there are just so many web users who would read your blogs, and this is just the perfect way to share your expertise and help other web users on the web. Moving on, this is like one of the most important or the most influencing point, I would say, that your better understanding. Like when you write a blog on a global platform, so you have to make sure that you are like 100% correct for the fact that you are stating. Now, how can you be 100% correct? Well, for that, you have to research a lot, and a lot. And while doing so, what happens is like you might know, like you really have a good knowledge about that thing. But while you are researching it so much, there might be so many facts that get unfolded in front of you, like you unexpectedly get to know so much that was previously unknown to you, but now you know that. So even for writing a single blog, you are actually increasing your better understanding at the concepts that you are writing in your blogs. While writing, you get new ideas on the flow. When you write for the first time, you are like on level 1. When you write for the second time, you might reach level 2. And so when you start writing blogs consistently, a time will come that you don't actually have to think before writing the blogs. The ideas would just effortlessly come into your mind, they would just flow your mind, and you'll be just effortlessly writing the blogs. You won't even feel like it's a hectic task to do. Just writing so many blogs, it will surely help you master your skills over time. Yes, blogging obviously boosts your confidence. Like once you start sharing or writing something on a global platform, you like for the first time you might be a little bit hesitant or a little bit like less confident to share your thoughts with everyone, but when you get feedbacks now, that actually motivates you, that actually gives you the confidence to share things further. Like even us, all the MSP, when I believe whenever we did our first event, we would be like, we don't know how people are gonna like it, are they gonna accept it the way we present and everything like that. But now that we have done few events, we are like, okay, fine. We know that what all other things people are expecting. On the feedback that we have received, we have worked upon that, and now at least we are more confident as compared to our first event. So same goes for blogging as well. When you write blogging, when you have written so many blogs, it just gives you the confidence to share more, to express your points more, so that you can accept all the feedbacks in a positive way, all the feedbacks that you receive. Now, for the part of the improved vocabulary, I would say that see, consistency is a thing that is required in like everything. Whatever you do, if you're not consistent, it's not gonna have the results. So same goes for blogging as well. When you write blogs, maybe when you were writing the first blog, you have to ponder a lot, you have to search a lot, you might be struggle a bit, you might not get the words at the right time. But when you start writing blog, that practice, the process in that is working behind, that definitely shows a noticeable change in your vocabulary. Like no one can say that he knows every word that exists in the world. There is always some room for improvement. So blogging definitely has a direct connection with the vocabulary that you have. It definitely improves your vocabulary. So lastly, I would just say that when you start writing, like you know that you have to write, you know what you will write, you know whom the target audience can be. But when you start writing, just make sure that you structure your writing effectively. Like it's the human tendency that people only read the things that are easy to scan or that meet their interest, that is appealing to, so that it encourages them to read further. So just prepare your blog in such a way that it is structured quite neatly and appropriately, because see, unstructured blogs can really discourage the readers. Like even you won't want to read it, so why would anyone else will, right? So just structure your blog in a way that everything is positioned correctly. Everything is like you can easily get the quick highlights that okay, these are all other things, and understand those concepts. Now the web is like already filled up with so much content. Like content, blogging is not a really new term. The web is already having so much. So when you start writing, you have to question it to yourself that what can I provide new? What is that one thing that will attract the bloggers to come to my blogs and read it? So you have to make sure that your content is original and innovative and educative and helpful for others. So you should also make sure that it is authentic and fact checks are done. Ultimately, your blog should be something that is worth spending time on for all the users and ultimately helpful for both the writer as well as the readers. So guys, I hope I was able to put across all the essentials of writing and maybe motivate everyone a little bit to start writing. And yes, it is never too late to start anything. So even if you haven't started on blogging, just give it a start. You will love it, trust me. It's just, it will help you improve yourself on a personal level. Then technical blogging is something that actually highlights your resume as well. So that's all from my end. Just happy writing, I would say. And do keep your questions prepared. We will answer them all at the end of this session. So that's all from my end. Thank you. And now I invite Akshita to present hers.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It was an amazing talk, and even Adil as well. So, hello everyone. Good evening, and this is Akshita Sharma, a Beta Microsoft student partner. I'm basically pursuing my bachelor's of engineering in the field of computer science, and from the field from technology and management. It's in Bangalore. So, I'll be sharing my experience today with you guys. So, let's get started. Yes. So, Voice of Code. That's the platform. You've already got introduced to Voice of Code from Adil and Nancy as well. Like what they shared was really valuable. And you already know what you would have a general idea about blogging and what blogging is all about. So let me introduce a platform where we actually write blogging. So introduction to Voice of Code. So how about let's start with a short story of Voice of Code. So how many of you are ready for a story? So the story starts like, okay, I'll be covering what, who, when, and how in this part of the story. So the founders who started Voice of Code, Adil and Nancy, were when Adil put his first article out on what Git and GitHub is. So that time, he had this idea of he experienced few issues with blogging because it was first time he wrote a blog, and then he experienced a few issues with blogging. He knew what people actually go through when they write their first blog. So he got certain guidance from people, but when it comes to other people who are, they don't know other people, like whom do they talk to, whom should they approach when it comes to knowing more about blogs. So then they started with this platform few months back. They started with this platform of Voice of Code. It is a platform where we give a voice to all the blogs around you. So Voice of Code was started few months back, and Adil and Nancy were the founders of Voice of Code. So now you know what Voice of Code is, who started it, when it started, and how it started. So the main agenda behind Voice of Code is nothing but just to convert the technical writing, and it's a platform that focuses on the medium publication of Voice of Code, which just explains people what tech is all about, and it is a collection of all kinds of resources at one place. So now you know what Voice of Code is and a brief introduction about it. So let me introduce you to the Voice of Code family. So the Voice of Code family consists of the following teams. We have the leads. The leads include the founders with Adil and Nancy, and then the leads to the various teams that are management team, design team, marketing team, and the medium team. And the various teams, marketing team, design team, management team, and the medium team have members in it who participate in various parts of the post and how it goes on. So after we know what the hierarchy is and what it consists of, let's jump into the part where, okay, is one post you see on our when you view our part on the when you view our publication Voice of Code on the Medium platform, you would just see a post there. do you know the story behind just one post put up there? The story behind one post is a lot. The whole process is so beautiful. So what actually happens is, let me give you a walkthrough to it. First, we receive a draft from the author, and once the draft is received on the voice of code mail ID, and the medium team goes on to the mail ID, they see the draft, they review the draft. Then the medium team, one of them just picks up the draft, and who are they interested in, they pick up the draft, they go through it, and then we review it in certain corrections and technical terms. We just checked out through it, we check off for plagiarism, and authenticity of the whole article is checked out with the medium team first. After that, the medium team passes on it to the design team to give a certain banner, a certain poster or background to the post and make it more interactive and make it more beautiful. It does look beautiful on that. And then after that, the medium team also gives us the summary to the management team, which is further sent out with the post. Once we receive the design and the summary for the certain post, the article given by the author is posted out by the medium team on the medium platform. Once the post is ready, it is shared to the marketing team, and the marketing team then forwards it to the management team, and it's spread out to all various platforms like LinkedIn and WhatsApp. And we are going to start an Instagram page, so soon we'll be having posts up on Instagram as well. So that's the beautiful story behind this whole one post. And yeah, so coming down to the main part which I'm supposed to talk about is my experience. So what's my experience here? My experience at Voice of Code has been really amazing till now. I know it was started just a few weeks ago or just a month back, but what I learned from this platform was really beautiful. Like, there are so many ways I've upscaled myself. Let it be in technological terms, knowledgeable terms, and interacting with people, getting to know more of people, getting to know what do people like to read, what people are interested to read, and also getting in more information on certain parts of technology which we weren't exposed to. Knowledge enhancement, yes, I did cover that part in upscaling, yes, but knowledge enhancement has happened as when we go to check on the authenticity of a certain article, we go on checking certain parts, we go, or if we don't, none of us know about what the article's about, we go to the various platforms, various blogs, we have to check for the authenticity. So yes, we do read about it, we do go through a lot of sites just to check if the article is valid or not, if the images used are actually from like they're from the author itself and not used from Google or some other platform. Moving on to interaction, yes, there's a lot of interaction between the teams and between the author, and the communication has just improved. The way you communicate with people, just as they say, practice makes a man perfect. So once you get talking to people, you just get started, you just talk and you just know them. Okay, this is what the person likes, this is the person's mindset, this is how the person thinks. So you can, as a lead, I can actually guide my team and tell them, okay, so this is what people actually want to read, so this is what we'll be putting out in the next few weeks. Social interface, yes, social interface is something that does increase as communication, as I mentioned in the interaction part, but social interface on various platforms, like we connect with other people who are non-MSPs as well, and they connect and they do publish their blogs on this platform. And because we look after the marketing part as well, all you have to do is just write a blog and leave the rest to us. We will look after everything after that. All the process is looked after. Last but not the least, just practice. I've practiced writing, I've practiced like reading articles and trying to enhance it, make it more technically strong and more vocal in it, adding a voice to it, to that certain blog there. It would be some you never know, when someone writes on a blog, it would be really valuable to that person, and that person needs it to be strong. To make it technically strong and vocal, what we do is we do practice and learn new terms, and we add in certain stuff as well, and we do check with the user. And after that's done, the blog is published. And yes, and coming down, I've also started up with all these experiences I've learned from this certain platform, I have started up my own blogging site, and it has been a great experience because I have learned a lot. Like, I have learned what I should do and what I should not. As a lead, as an author, what I would write, and as a reader, what I would like to read. So, yes, that's what I've learned in this, and it's been amazing. So, last but not least, let's give a brief introduction to the speakers last. So, we had Adil Asif, who was the founder of Voice of Code, and he's an amazing speaker as well. Coming down to Nancy, we call her Nancy the Cool. She's really energetic, full of life. And yes, her LinkedIn ID is here as well. You can follow her down. And last but not the least, Akshita Sharma, that's me. And yeah, that's it. And you can follow us. These are the speakers. We were the speakers for the day. And thank you so much on behalf of the whole Voice of Code family. It was amazing to interact with all of you guys, and knowing you all were interested in actually starting down to write a blog. You all have all Adil introduced you to what blog is and how important it is to write a blog. Nancy gave you a walkthrough to it. I told you about what my experience was, and just if you do like it, if you did enjoy this, just follow us down on LinkedIn and the Medium team. Go visit our Medium page, read our articles, and if you do like articles, show them some love, clap for them, and that's it. And yeah, thank you so much for having us as the speakers, and thank you so much. It was great interacting with you all. And if you have any questions, you can put it on the comment section. We would like to answer your questions.
Yes, you can also fill up the feedback form. It would be great. We have shared it in the chat. So,
Guys, thank you so much for such a nice and like great event. I myself really enjoyed a lot, and I learned quite many things for like my future blogs. Um, well, मैं थोड़ा अपना बता दूँ. Like I am a blogger as well. I write blogs, and like it's a kind of motivation for me that people are like writing blogs, because I thought that we were shifting from blogs to videos, because as we see the trends in the market, there are many people who used to write blogs, but now they are shifting to videos, making how-to videos and like that. But well, you guys gave me a really great boost up, so I will continue blogging as well. So guys, if you have any question, thank you so much, Adil, Nancy, and Akshita once again. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much,
for
Mursal, for
being
having us
available.
here. It was great. And it's really nice to know you're a blogger as well. Do share out your blogs on Voice of Code. We love to read them as well and
Yeah,
share it
sure.
with others.
I'll share surely. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, do ask them in the comment section, or you can just unmute your mic and ask your questions. And fill the feedback form, please. Do fill up the feedback form. Guys, do fill up the feedback form, please.
okay, so we have a question. So, can we make a diagram picture on which we have to write our blogs, and we can put our signature over there so that no one can do copy? Can we do that? Yeah, of course you can do that. But for the signature part, I don't know about the authenticity. Like, if someone would want to copy your diagram or picture, he would directly copy it. What you can do for your safety is like you can attach your logo or your name on it. But yeah, if someone wants to copy again, he or she will copy it. What you can do is you can use proper platforms for posting your blogs, like Medium. There are C Sharp Corner. There are a lot of platforms you can go over there as well. And if you find that somewhere someone has copied your diagram, you can report it and share your link with them, that this is the original post, this is the original blog, and this is the picture that was copied from it. You can do that.
I do ask them the questions. Started following you on Medium. Will definitely read them. Okay, great. The wonderful speakers. Can we make a diagram? Okay, so like all questions are done. Guys, if you don't have any question, किसी को कोई
Mursal,
सवाल?
Mursal, we can have questions from your side.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of questions, but I'll ask them in private, not here.
We'll wait to hear them from you for sure.
We'll be waiting for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you guys, we were live on Facebook as well.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Do we have
We
questions from
had,
Facebook?
no, actually I am having some internet issues, so I can't see that if we have questions on Facebook.
Okay, we have one question.
Okay,
Which social media platform is better to do blogs? Okay, Zoeb, okay. Social media platform for blogging. Me as a blogger, I can tell you if you. It depends on what kind of blog you want to write. See, if you want to start your own blogging site as a whole and want to start monetization from that, so it would be good if you go with WordPress and blog site. And Medium also offers that. These are the three top blogging sites I can refer you. One is WordPress, one is Medium, and the other would be blogger.com, which is from Google. And yeah, you can refer to these three first. And if you enjoy it, to share it with others as well.
Laiba, can you write your questions or ping them again? Because I think they have moved up.
Yeah.
Or you can just ask on the voice.
Okay, if someone is copying a blog at that time, what would you like to do? As Nancy told, that our content must be authentic, so people should be attracted towards your blog. So if someone's copying your blog, so in Cat's case, what do you do? Okay, so we check the authenticity of the blog. So if someone copies your blog, you're supposed to report them. That's the first thing you do. And I guess Adil and Nancy would guide you better on this, on how to report a person. Adil and Nancy,
See,
over to
there
you.
are, yeah. Thank you for that question. And yes, there are like seriously some like legal complication on such issues that many people don't actually know. If you, I can say that if you see any website that is copying your blog content, you can look ways to contact that website owner, or you can send a polite email and inform them that, and you can provide your blog that it is your original blog, you had posted it and someone is trying to copy it. There you can politely try to solve this issue, and at the end if nothing works, then yeah, definitely you can file a lawsuit. Like there are legal complications on this thing. But yes, if the writer actually gives you credits or provides a link to your blog, then that won't be copying if he's actually providing you the credits for it. But yes, if it's like seriously copying, then you can definitely report it and inform the person. So do we have any other questions?
Okay, someone asked that would the slides available होंगी या नहीं? So guys, will you share the slides?
Yeah, we can share the
Yeah, we
slides.
can
Or
share the slides to you guys.
I'll share it in the chat.
That
Yeah,
would
we
be
don't
great.
mind sharing that. It's perfect. We can share that.
Okay, we have another question. If someone is sharing their feelings in blog, do we say that it is authentic?
You want to share your feelings in the blog? I didn't get you.
Like as in sharing a personal experience, that is what
Yeah,
you have asked.
that's much more appreciated in a blog. That's where
Yeah.
when it shows that you are the one who's writing it down. That is authentic.
Like, allow me to share one of my very great experience. Few days back, like not few days, a month or half a month back, we had a series of events with the title Tech Talk with MSPs from MSP Jamshoro. So like in that tech talk, we had almost more than 500 participants in 4 different workshops. So now after workshops, the biggest issue was to generate certificates. We searched a lot, but could not find good medium. So जहाँ पर हम इतने ज़्यादा certificates generate कर सकें. So I came up with a code on a Python script to generate certificates automatically. It almost took 10 seconds to generate 500 certificates. Okay,
Okay.
well, I thought to write a whole article on that. I wrote a whole article, and then like um, a person, he's also an MSP and a beta level MSP from Ecuador. If I'm like pronouncing it correctly, Ecuador. He contacted me on my Teams platform and asked my permission that if he could if he could translate my article to Spanish for their own people. So
Wow, that's great.
like if you are writing something that is authentic, that is worth reading, it would be appreciated automatically. People will like your work or would like to share your work automatically. You won't have to strive for that. Well, I'll share the link with Adil, and Adil, like if possible, you can share with Nancy and Akshita as well, if you can.
We'd
Yeah,
love to
sure.
see
I'll
the
share
article.
it. And if you want, we can also get it on our publication as well.
We have another question. Is it necessary to give references for your research in blog?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
about Okay, so as we talked about authenticity and credibility of an article, right? So just think that if you cannot tolerate that someone is copying your article or someone is copying your research and is not giving you a reference for it, so how would the other person tolerate that as well from the other side as well? So it's always better to give references and research. It is always helpful for other people to learn from those sites as well, and even for the writer that he has got some credit as well.
Good work, Mursal Furqan is studentpartner.com external. Okay, thank you so much. मुरसल भाई मुझे मेरा सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिला लास्ट वेबिनार ऑफ डी जेंगो. यार आप मुझसे कांटेक्ट करें ना. हु व्हाट्स योर नेम? आई डोंट नो योर नेम. यू जस्ट कांटेक्ट मी. मेरा मोबाइल नंबर हर ईमेल में होता है, मेरा व्हाट्सएप नंबर हर ईमेल में मौजूद होता है. जस्ट कांटेक्ट मी. ओके ओके, थैंक यू मैम. बेस्ट वेबिनार एवर अटेंडेड, बेस्ट स्पीकर, रियली ग्रेट नॉलेज आई गेट. So much financing. Mursal bhai, I messaged on page. Okay, of course, great work by Mursal. So guys, like if you don't have any other questions, I think we should wrap this event up because it's getting late. I need this recording session as well. Mursal, may I have this lecture? Yeah, sure. You will have this lecture. Actually, since Maxwell Student Partner program is being retired in June, and from July we will be having Maxwell's Learn Student Ambassadors. So we are thinking to have a YouTube channel after the transition. Once MSP is dissolved and we have we are student ambassadors, we'll have a complete revamp of our society and our everything. So then we'll have a YouTube channel and there we shall upload everything. All the lectures would be uploaded there. मुर्सल भाई मुझे भी नहीं मिला सर्टिफिकेट डी जेंगो वाला. भाइयों बहनों, just text me on mobile or just email me. Okay, so like Adil bhai, Akshita and Nancy, like, do you guys have any question from the attendees? Like एक वो होता है ना, एक like जब टीचर को सवाल पूछता है और स्टूडेंट जवाब नहीं दे रहा होता, तो टीचर सवाल करना स्टार्ट कर देता है स्टूडेंट से, so that they may know that the students have really attended and for the lecture. I also need recording. Yeah, Nancy, surely, like I can share you on your MSP email.
Well, from the chats, I can like actually assume that people have enjoyed the session. Like we are actually getting an overwhelming response. That's amazing. So we, as all speakers, we just hope that we were able to express our thoughts with everyone, and everyone has just some amazing takeaways from the event. So if anyone wants to share any takeaway that they have from that event, whatever they learned today, they can just write that down in the chats.
And like, it would be great if you just unmute your mic and speak.
Yeah, that would be better, in fact. Anyone, just come up forward and tell us that how did you like the session, or what did you learn?
Nancy,
Anything
And how
from
we can
us.
improve. If you want us to,
Yeah,
improve on
yes.
certain points, it'll be great. Because this is an interactive platform. It's not a class that, तुम लोग आप हिंदी is fine.
yeah, it is
Like
fine,
you,
completely fine.
हाँ कि ऐसा नहीं तुम लोग चुप बैठे रहो, ये तो ना क्लास थोड़ी ना है.
Okay, first off,
Interactive
let me
session है.
tell me, Nancy or Akshita, who among you was removed from the meeting, or like who was muted?
Nancy.
Okay.
I was. And I didn't realize for like few seconds that someone would.
well, like ऐसा तो आप लोग ना करो ना, like class तो नहीं है. Okay, it's like some pranks we pull up on our teachers and other fellows. In our class, someone removed the dean from the meeting. Like he was taking a class day before yesterday, and someone removed the dean from the class.
Wow. We really can't do that in our college.
No, actually, he's of the mentality. He says that you guys are from final year, and I should not impose some strict rules on your class. You are mature enough. But he doesn't know that we are not mature enough.
अरे तो हमारे यहाँ पे भी तो ना मतलब वीडियोस वगैरह, वो जो अपना यूनिवर्सिटी पोस्टिंग वाला ग्रुप है, तो उस पर भी वीडियोस वगैरह जो आई थी ऑनलाइन की, ऑल डेफ 4 वगैरह की, वो भी तो थी ना. अलग अलग भाई फिल्में यहाँ पे भी.
बहुत बड़ी.
Key
Okay,
takeaways. Okay, we have a beautiful note written by someone. Key takeaways: first, fully self-learn the things before you write something. Be confident enough. Content of blogs though, and learn the platforms. Oh, that's nice.
ओके.
We're glad.
मैं बस कुछ आखिरी अल्फाज बोलना चाहूँगा, उर्दू में ही बोलूँगा. तो
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है. तो बेसिकली मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि अब जैसे हमने तो एक लेक्चर दे दिया, ठीक है, ब्लॉग्स पे. अब हमारे एंड से हम जितना अच्छे से समझा सकते थे हमने समझाया, ठीक है. अब आप में से हो सकता है कुछ लोग ब्लॉग स्टार्ट करें, हो सकता है कुछ लोग नहीं स्टार्ट करें. अच्छा, जो सबसे पहली प्रॉब्लम आती है ना, वो ये आती है कि लोग डरते हैं ब्लॉग करने से. वो क्यों डरते हैं? बोलते हैं कि अगर हम ब्लॉग लिखते हैं, ठीक है, अब ये सही हुआ नहीं हुआ, या इसका जो इंग्लिश का फॉर्मेट है वो सही हुआ नहीं हुआ, या किसी भी आप लैंग्वेज में लिख रहे हो ग्रामर का मसला हुआ, हम मैसेज सही से कन्वे कर पाए नहीं कर पाए. तो अब ये सीन होता है कि अगर आप कोई ये है कि आप लिखो ब्लॉग, भले आपके पास एक नॉलेज है, आप एक चीज़ को एक्सपीरियंस कर चुके हो, आप लिखो, ठीक है. आपकी जो इम्प्रूवमेंट होगी, आपका जो ब्लॉग इम्प्रोवाइज होगा, वो डे बाय डे होगा. जैसे जैसे आप ब्लॉग लिखते जाओगे, आप इम्प्रोवाइज करते जाओगे. ब्लॉग्स में कोई भी एक्सपर्ट नहीं होता. हत्ता कि कोई बंदा है जो एक मतलब सालों से ब्लॉग लिख रहा है, 5-6 साल से ब्लॉग लिख रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी कभी ना कभी कहीं ना कहीं उससे भी गलतियां होती हैं. इंसान है, गलती होती है, ठीक है. तो ब्लॉग लिखने से डरो नहीं, बस लिखो, आंखें बंद करो, पब्लिश करो, लिखो, बाकी छोड़ दो, टेंशन नहीं लेनी. बाकी जहाँ पे दोस्तों के साथ शेयर करना करो. बाकी अगर कोई गलती होती भी है, क्रेडिबिलिटी या कुछ भी ऐसा इशू होता है, तो आपको अगर लोग बताते हैं तो आप उन पर, ऐसा ना हो कि आप उन पर गुस्सा करो या लड़ना शुरू हो जाओ या वहाँ से डर जाओ और आप वहाँ पे ब्लॉगिंग स्टॉप कर दो. ऐसा नहीं है. आप वही मिस्टेक्स को सीखो, उसी ब्लॉग में आप एडिट करो और आप उनसे सीखो कि आपने ये मिस्टेक्स की थी और अब मैं इस तरीके से इम्प्रोवाइज़ करूँगा, ताकि फ्यूचर में ना आप कोई आप ऐसी गलतियों से बचेंगे, आप फ्यूचर में टेक केयर रहें, थोड़ा मोहतात रहें. तो इस तरीके से ना, तो बस मैं एंड में यही कहना चाहूँगा. मैं ये बोलूँगा कि बस ब्लॉग्स लिखते रहो, क्योंकि बेनिफिट भी हमारे कंट्री की अगर बात करें, पाकिस्तान की भी, तो इतना अच्छा रिस्पांस नहीं है ब्लॉगिंग वगैरह में, ठीक है. बहुत कम लोग राइटिंग और रीडिंग की तरफ है कौन. मैं खुद नहीं रीडिंग करता इतनी, ठीक है. राइटिंग थोड़ी बहुत मैंने अभी स्टार्ट करी है, लेकिन राइटिंग करो, आपके लिए भी बेटर है, आप अंडरस्टैंड करोगे और दूसरों को भी इंफॉर्मेशन बनाओ. और इससे सिर्फ ये नहीं होगा कि आपका नाम हो रहा है, एक कंट्री की भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन सामने आती है कि ये इस कंट्री का बंदा है, इसने ये रिप्रेजेंट किया. थैंक यू.
आदिल। मतलब मुझे तो पता है कि भाई अगर हमें ब्लॉग देना है तो वो कैसे देना है, लेकिन अगर कोई और वॉइस ऑफ कोड में अपना सबमिट करवाना चाहे ब्लॉग तो वो कैसे करवा सकता है, ये भी बता दें।
अच्छा, वॉइस ऑफ कोड पे या देखो, मुझे यू कैन आप लोग मुझे रीच आउट कर सकते हैं वॉइस ऑफ कोड पे। मेरे लिंक्डइन पे मैंने लिंक्डइन की आईडी भी स्लाइड्स में दी हुई, स्लाइड्स मैंने शेयर कर दी हैं। आप हमें वॉइस ऑफ कोड की डायरेक्ट पेज पे कहीं पे किसी पोस्ट पे कमेंट कर सकते हैं, या आप वॉइस ऑफ कोड के इनबॉक्स में हमें डाल सकते हैं लिंक्डइन पे कि मुझे ब्लॉग देना है, तो हमारी टीम आपसे कांटेक्ट में कर देगी। वरना फिर मैं ईमेल भी लिख रहा हूँ, बेटर ये है कि आप ईमेल पे भेज दो, तो ईमेल पे जो है हम आपको रिस्पॉन्ड कर देंगे। ठीक है, मैं ईमेल डाल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे। अच्छा, वो जो ब्लॉग है वो हम ये रिकमेंड करते हैं कि आप लोग ब्लॉग को ना वो रखें, वर्ड फाइल में रखें, ताकि जो फॉर्मेट है, फॉर्मेटिंग वगैरह है, जो हमारी मीडियम टीम करेगी उनको ज़्यादा आसानी रहे।
एक
नहीं,
क्वेश्चन आया है। हाँ,
ग्रामर का मसला नहीं है। हमारी जो मीडियम टीम है वो ग्रामर एडिटिंग पे काम करती है और आपसे भी कांटेक्ट में रहती है, लेकिन हम यही कोशिश करते हैं कि जितना ओरिजिनल ब्लॉग रहे उतना बेटर है। बाकी अक्षिता ज़्यादा बेहतर बता सकती है इसके बारे में। अक्षिता। ओके, स्टार्टिंग में आप कैसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हो? आप प्लेटफॉर्म्स को अप्रोच कर सकते हो, जैसे हमारा एक प्लेटफॉर्म है वॉइस ऑफ कोड, उसकी प्रमोशंस हम अपने एंड से करते हैं। ठीक है, उसके अलावा आप अपने सर्कल में दे सकते हो, ब्लॉग्स शेयर करो अपने दोस्तों के साथ। ठीक है, अब नॉर्मली क्या होता है, मैं अपने दोस्तों की बात करूँगा, मैं पाकिस्तान की बात करूँगा, दूसरी कंट्रीज़ की नहीं करूँगा। हमारे यहाँ होता है, क्या होता है कि दोस्तों में ना कि हमें छेड़ना शुरू कर देता है। ठीक है, अगर किसी ने ब्लॉग लिखा है, ठीक है, कोई इंग्लिश वाली चीज़ आई है, तो सामने से पीछे से कमेंट्स आएंगे, ओहो बंदा इंग्लिश लिख रहा है, फुल प्रो हो गया है, इस तरीके के कमेंट्स आते हैं। ठीक है, आप अपने दोस्तों में रीच आउट करोगे तो आएंगे, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं आएंगे। आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आपकी दोस्त, अच्छा, और ऐसा भी नहीं कि दोस्त फुली छोड़ देते हैं, वो हेल्प भी करते हैं। मेरे दोस्तों ने शेयर किए मेरे खुद के ब्लॉग्स, ठीक है, लोगों तक पहुँचाएँ। ठीक है, तो ये भी है। तो सबसे इनिशियल स्टेज तो है कि आप दोस्तों में शेयर करो। ठीक है, दोस्तों में पहले अपने आप को वो बनाओ। ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद ये है कि आप साथ साथ भी पब्लिकेशंस में ऐसी रैंडमली किसी भी जो जहाँ पे रेलेवेंट ऑडियंस, टारगेट ऑडियंस है आपकी, आप वहाँ पे पोस्ट कर दो। इस तरीके की जगहों पे आप पब्लिकेशंस को रीच आउट कर सकते हो, ऐसे आपका पीआर बनेगा। अच्छा, मैं ये रिकमेंड करूँगा कि आप लोग सबसे पहले ना, जिनका लिंक्डइन पर अकाउंट नहीं, वो लिंक्डइन पर अकाउंट बनाएं। ठीक है, आपकी सबसे ज़्यादा जो रीच है ना वो लिंक्डइन से आ सकती है। लिंक्डइन सबसे बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म है प्रोफेशनल से कनेक्ट करने का। अच्छा, ब्लॉग्स की सबमिशन की एक लास्ट बात मैं बता दूं कि वॉइस ऑफ कोड पे ना खाली हम ब्लॉग्स उस तरीके के रिलेटेड टू सीएस एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, यानी कि कंप्यूटर साइंस से रिलेटेड ब्लॉग्स सिर्फ एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा नाम ही जैसे वॉइस ऑफ कोड, तो टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड है सब कुछ।
Right?
Guys, we're still having a look at the chat section. If there are any more questions, just shoot them out as us. We will surely answer that. We would love to answer that. If there are still questions, you can still write them down in the chats.
Okay, well, so like, if there is no question, I think we shall wrap it up. Okay, but before wrapping up, I have an announcement for our next event. Guys, we have an event on quantum computing this Sunday that would be hosted by Syed Farhan. He is also an beta MSP from India, and like he's a great guy. He's a genius in like quantum things. So do register for the event. The link would be on our Facebook page, or like if you need any help, I'm always there. And I hope so. Nancy, Akshita, and Adil's contact details would be shared with would have been shared with you in their LinkedIn, their email addresses. Okay, how we can get how can we get certificate of this webinar? Okay, Adil, the other certificates. Verma?
From our side, we don't have any certificates right now. But do you want certificates from Voice of Food?
Okay, I don't think so. Okay, certificates की कोई need है because okay, yes,
अच्छा एक चीज मैं बताना
we want
चाहूँ
Adil.
सर्टिफिकेट्स अच्छा yes we want
We want it.
ओके ओके तो मैं अभी कॉल के बाद अपनी टीम के साथ डिस्कशन करता हूँ फिर मुर्शद भाई मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं ठीक है
Okay. Is it okay, guys? So, like, Adil bhai, do you follow MSP Unfiltered?
हाँ हाँ फॉलो करते हैं हाँ वो सब हम यार हम सबका तो एक ही ग्रुप है ना मतलब MSP अनफिल्टर्ड हो गया MSP फायर हो गया रोहित पल्लवी ये सब सलमान
Like,
गणेश
इन लोगों
वेदांत
के लिए yeah, सही सही
आपकी
सही
आवाज़
सही
कट रही है आपकी आवाज़ कट
इन
रही
लोगों की भी अलग अलग आप अपनी अपनी कम्युनिटी
है हाँ ये है
so I'm having some really network issues now बहुत बढ़ गया
सर
okay so guys that would be a wrap from our side Hiba are you there
जी
hello आप कुछ कमेंट्स करके और देन इवेंट को कंक्लूड करना चाहेंगी प्लीज
बस मैं ये बोलूँगी कि थैंक यू आदिल नैन्सी एंड अक्षिता फॉर सच अ वंडरफुल इवेंट और जितना एक्सपेक्ट किया था उससे ज़्यादा अच्छा गया इवेंट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह और लुकिंग ओवर मोर कि हम आइंदा भी ऐसे ही और इवेंट करवाएं साथ एमएसपी जामशेरो और वॉइस ऑफ कोर्ट की कोलैबोरेशन के साथ
हाँ बिल्कुल
थैंक यू फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू
We would love to have more collaborations, and thank you so much for having us here. The Voice of Food team, thank you so. I just thank you all from behalf of the Voice of Food family. It was amazing for us as well.
Thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much, Adil, Akshita, and Nancy. Thank you so much, Hiba, for arranging such a great and informative event. That would be a wrap. Good night. Be aman Allah.
Good
And
night.
Allah.
गुड नाइट
Ta-da, bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Good night.
And yes.
Nancy, Akshita, can we get on a call after this? I'll just send you a call right now.
Okay. Okay.
हिबा आप रुकें प्लीज let me first remove everyone okay so दामनी did you do it और मसूद भाई आपने ये किया था कि सबको आपने अटेंडी बना दिया
I did.
किसने किया well just thank you so much like मुझे अंदाजा नहीं था कि हमारी आवाम जो ऐसी है कि इवेंट में भी क्लास वाले हरकतें करना शुरू कर देगी
Actually ऐसा
होती
हमारी
है
क्लास
यार ऐसे कौन
बहुत
करता
है तो बस
है
मैंने अटेंड ही बना दिया सबको
नहीं वो आप लोग तो बच्चे Correct. Khair. Thank you so much, Dami. Thank you so much for that.
It's okay.
Okay, Allah Hafiz. Good night and take care.